Look, that's enough of that. It's not helping, is it? That's better. Now let's go over it again. You were at the opera.
Yes.
Attending Her Highness the Princess.
Yes, it is my job.
After the opera, you went back with the princess to her suite at the Dacre Hotel. Then what?
I helped her get ready for bed. I locked her jewels in the safe. I put away her clothes. I did what I always do. Why am I here? Non ho fatto niente, perché non mi credi?
All right. Look, you may not believe me, but I'm trying to help you. Now, you locked her jewels in the safe, you put away her clothes, then what?
I have done nothing. Why won't you believe me? Oh, please.
The Six Napoleons by Sir Arthur Conan Doyle. Dramatized for radio by Bert Coules. With Clive Medicine as Sherlock Holmes and Michael Williams as Dr. John Watson. And featuring Donald G. as Inspector Lestrade. The Six Napoleons.
Signor Holmes, I beg of you, help my daughter.
Please, Signor Benucci, it is not necessary to beg.
You will take the case?
I shall.
Oh, grazie mille. Thank you. You must realize, Signor Holmes, I am not a wealthy man.
That is not a relevant factor.
Oh, I have heard of your generosity towards families such as mine, but I dare not
all that interests
hope.
me is the case. The challenge. That and to see justice done.
Justice. Yes. My son, I have a son, Pietro. He did not wish me to come here.
He doesn't want to see his sister released?
No. To Pietro, the family, it is everything. To all of us. But he is young, wild a little. To all the time we fight. I tell him, this is your home now. You must make a place here. You must speak English. But he will not hear.
What was his objection to your consulting me?
Forgive me. He believes that you and the police, you are one. The law, yes. La legge, le autorite.
The authorities. He's mistaken.
I told him. But this terrible business, it has made him so irragionevole.
Uncontrollable.
Uncontrollable, see. He feels very strongly the shame to the family, you understand.
I understand.
Your room adjoins the princess's suite.
What?
Next door. Your room is next to hers.
Yes, of course.
Of course. There is a door between them.
Of course.
Who else knew that the princess had taken a sleeping powder that night?
No one.
No one but you. Listen to me. If you did do it...
I didn't. No, I didn't. How many times must I say it?
If you did it, for God's sake, admit it. Confess. If you don't... Look, it's not always going to be up to me. Things could get a lot worse for you.
Worse? Worse than this?
This? You wait till you see the inside of a prison. This is nothing.
The police have no case.
But they will not let me see her.
The circumstantial evidence is very strong, but they...
Signor Holmes, forgive me. I do not understand.
L'evidenza circostanze è molto forte.
Yes.
But they have no actual proof.
Then they must let her go.
Not necessarily. Or at least not yet.
What can we do?
I must find the true criminal.
You will do it. You are Sherlock Holmes.
Signor, I am not infallible. Far from it.
You will do it. You must. Signor Holmes, my Lucrezia is not strong. What will this be doing to her?
Maria Santissima, perdonami.
I'm sorry, Mr. Holmes, but you're wasting your time.
Inspector, you have no definite proof.
Well, that's for the jury to decide. Look, sir, there's a lot of pressure. Visiting royalty. Well, I don't have to explain it to you.
You have to be seen to be making progress.
Orders straight from the top.
It's better to have an innocent prisoner than no prisoner at all.
We don't know that she's innocent. Look, whether she did it or not, I know perfectly well that we've got no case. If you could have given me a better suspect, I'd have bailed her days ago.
May I speak to her?
Yeah, of course. Vanucci, someone to see you. Stand away from the door. Oh, God.
Inspector? What's wrong?
Bloody little fool. Oh, damn. Would you give me a hand to get her down, sir?
Porci! Bestie! Assassini inglesi!
Pietro, che cosa succede?
Canaglie! Canaglie assassine!
Pietro!
Lucrezia è morta! Suicidio!
Gesù Maria! Dio abbia pietà della sua anima!
Basta con il tuo amico investigatore inglese! Adesso facciamo le cose a modo mio, sì? Oh, sorry. In English. Now we'll do things my way.
Well, that was first class.
Yes, indeed. Mrs. Hudson certainly has a way with steak and kidney pudding.
You said as much to me on the first day we moved here.
Good Lord, did I really?
Yes, it led to a discussion on overfeeding as a possible method of murder.
Oh, yes.
Would that really be possible?
Relax, Lestrade. Mrs. Hudson has nothing but the warmest opinion of you, as far as I know.
Brandy, Inspector?
Thank you, Doctor.
So, Lestrade, anything remarkable on hand?
Oh, no, Mr. Holmes. Nothing very particular.
Then tell me about it.
Well, there's no use denying that there is something on my mind, but it's such an absurd business.
Is it out of the common? Here.
Thank you. Oh, yes. Is that all right?
Oh, well, we have a taste for the unusual. Holmes?
Thank you.
But this is simply trivial.
Just as you like.
Well, the first case was 4 days ago, at the shop of a Mr. Morse Hudson in the Kennington Road. He sells pictures, statues, that sort of thing.
I'll be with you directly, sir. Please look around. Hey!
One plaster bust of Napoleon Bonaparte. Not worth more than a few shillings.
Senseless hooliganism.
Well, that's what it was put down to at the time, Doctor. But then it happened again.
Another plaster bust.
Another Napoleon, too.
Sounds more in your line than mine, Watson.
I agree.
What, madness?
Exactly. But when our madman commits burglary, that brings it away from the doctor and on to the policeman.
Burglary? Yes, that is more interesting.
The bust was smashed against the garden wall. Nothing else was taken or damaged in any way.
Yeah, this is certainly novel.
I thought it would please you, but I've not got to the end yet.
Not another one.
The Napoleon in Dr. Barnicot's hallway was one of a pair. The other one was in his surgery 2 miles away.
Also smashed?
Oh, yes. The poor doctor was no sooner recovered from one burglary than he arrived at work to find a window forced and bits of plaster all over his consulting room floor.
It certainly is singular, not to say grotesque. Were Dr. Barnicot's Napoleons duplicates of the one in Morse Hudson's shop?
Barnicot bought his pair from Hudson. They were taken from the same mould.
What theory are you following?
Well, none beyond the obvious. A madman with such a hatred of Napoleon, he has to smash any image of him he sees. Hard to believe, I know.
There are no limits to the possibilities of monomania.
Monomania?
Yes, modern French psychologists call it the idée fixe. The sufferers are usually totally sane in every other way, but under the influence of their idée fixe, they can be capable of almost anything.
But why Napoleon in this day and age?
Well, your burglar might have some hereditary family injury that was originally caused in the Napoleonic War.
No, that won't do.
Oh?
Lestrade's man knew exactly which houses to break into. No amount of idée fixe would tell him that.
Well, how do you explain it?
I don't attempt to.
Oh, so you do think it's too trivial to bother with?
I don't call anything trivial. And some of my most classic cases have had the least promising beginnings. You remember the Abernethy family, Watson?
I doubt if I'll ever forget them. Dreadful business.
But the whole affair would never have been suspected if I hadn't noticed how far the parcel had sunk into the butter on a hot day.
Good heavens.
So I can't afford to smile at your 3 broken Napoleons, Lestrade. I'd be obliged if you'd let us hear of any fresh developments.
Chi è? Chi è? Ah, buonasera. Andiamo allora. Andiamo.
Buffoni, segui tua sorella.
Yes?
There's coffee on the table.
Yes?
And a cab waiting at the door. Lestrade sent a telegram.
Surely it could have waited. Surely it could have waited until after breakfast.
Come instantly, it says. Instantly!